Intermission movie review. So this is another movie I just stumbled upon in the video store and decided to check out. I think it's a 2003 Irish movie, which was advertised as kind of a new breakout independent movie. It was advertised as being kind of very new and innovative, but it's actually not quite as new and innovative as the advertisements would want you to believe. Its main gimmick is that it features a bunch of stories which intersect with each other at various points. At this point, we've seen this a million times. Love Actually, Crash, I don't know, 100 different movies also have this gimmick. That being said, it's not a bad little movie. I had quite a few laughs during the course of it, and although it's not a new trick, it is kind of always fun to see these types of movies, where you've got a bunch of separate different stories, and then you see how they intersect with each other at various points. If the writers are clever, it can be interesting to see how they all intersect with each other, and they did a fairly good job of it here. I mentioned Love Actually before, but actually this movie, Intermission, has more of a cynical take on love and relationships. And so it kind of struck me as like the opposite of Love Actually, or like the darker version of Love Actually. Although most of the characters do get a happy ending at the end. Now, this is only of interest to us Star Trek fans, but if you're a Star Trek fan, and I was a huge Star Trek fan in my youth, this movie has Colm Meaney in it, who plays a tough guy policeman with a fondness for Celtic music. Colm Meaney was the Chief O'Brien, who was a minor character on Star Trek The Next Generation, and then became one of the main characters on Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Yeah, it's a funny thing, actually. I really liked Chief O'Brien, in part because I thought his kind of evolution as a character was quite interesting, from kind of a minor reoccurring character to somebody who got more and more screen time. That always kind of fascinated me when I was a kid watching Star Trek. But at the risk of offending some other Star Trek fans, I always thought his character at the same time was written a little bit bland. It's therefore interesting to see Colm Meaney in other productions, to just kind of see what he can do, because this guy is a lot more talented actor than you might think just from having watched his performance as Chief O'Brien. He was a really good actor in this. And another movie, which I never reviewed because I saw it quite a few years ago, but a movie called Snapper. It's a 1993 Irish comedy. Colm Meaney is in it, and he just does a fantastic job. And he really has a range of acting ability in that movie, and a comic sensibility that you would never have expected just from seeing him in Star Trek. Which goes to show that I think those Star Trek writers, or the Star Trek directors, or whatever, did not know how to use him to his fullest potential. It's unfortunate. Anyways, that's a little side note just for the Star Trek fans watching. Yeah, final verdict, I give this a recommendation if you see it.